ourselves open to finding and embracing new communities of influence isn't something that comes natural to all of us. For some, it's the case that we socialize into comfortable and familiar circles that look like us and sound like us, express themselves in the same way as we do. Sometimes it's just easier to express ourselves in spaces that require minimal discomfort and transparency beyond the sameness that we enjoy. 9 years ago, I was called here to Australia for the reasons of work, and I came here unaware of how much I was asking of my wife and my daughter at the time, especially my daughter. Because like her father, she's a social butterfly that thrives in the company of friends. And unlike her father, however, she hadn't yet mastered the art of making new friends easily and the nuances of that. And she hadn't realized that she hadn't completely gotten over missing everybody that she had left. So finding community that year for her was a struggle. But I watched in amazement as she navigated the unfamiliar, as she spread her butterfly wings and just flew in new fields of green and made new community for herself and began to understand her place and her space in this new Australian world. She learned how to find new community and trust her ability to do so. But more importantly, she learned how to be the community for others who were new and finding their way in the school, and in some cases who were actually new in the country also. Now that was a lot for someone so young at the time. I mean, she was 9 years old. But she did that because she was consistently reminded of three very important things. Number one, the goodness and the community and the friends that she was seeking in the world were also seeking her. And while it was important for her to find great people to be around, it was absolutely essential to be the great people that she was looking for, that she be the community she wanted to find. Number two, she was taught that everybody comes with a story that's longer and deeper than the person that you first meet. So be careful not to judge people before you've had the opportunity to know more about them. And number three, there will always be important values and experiences and lessons that come out of our family that you need to share with other families, just as there will always be important values and lessons and experiences coming out of their families that you need to share with ours. So always be open to share both ways. Now, while it may sound like we were putting our 9-year-old daughter through relational philosophy one-on-one classes, it's not the case. But these were lessons that were simply taught and consistently and intentionally modeled in front of her. Now, please don't understand or misunderstand that while we was doing that for a moment, that we weren't struggling to navigate our way in our adult world. That it didn't come with its challenges and it didn't come with its discomforts and its difficulties, because it did. But I suppose that's the beauty, isn't it? And that's the importance of embracing the challenges found in seeking and becoming community. We know ourselves in deeper and increasingly profounder ways because we see ourselves reflected in the least expected places and the least expected expressions. I've seen the same smiles reflected in fathers that I've sat with across Scandinavia, and I've seen the same outrage I've seen expressed in mothers in South Africa. I've felt the same loss and sense of loss sitting amongst old boys in the East End of London that I have felt sitting in a wake in Westmoreland, Jamaica. We find and become community in order to celebrate and understand our commonalities and better know ourselves and better know what it means to be ourselves. Okay, let's do the work. I want you to make a list of at least 3 communities or people outside your normal circle that you need to become more connected to. Make a list of all the values, virtues, and principles that make you good community for anybody in search of good community? And number 3, who, where, and what do you need to bring that good community that is you to? Okay, let's go do the work.